Well, if you've watched us here at Local On 2, you know Glenn Word. He is the best, and he's a regular here. He is dedicated to helping people find back relief.
Yes, usually he has a product to show us, but today he's explaining that the store is more than just about items that you can buy. There's actually an assessment to help find out what customers, the right solution is for them.
Yeah, had no idea that you do this. So you really do consultation. Someone comes in with a problem, you guys can help kind of say and guide them to what they need to do.
Well, the products that we carry, we know they will do the job, but what we really want to focus on while we have you there, as we put it, is the habits that you may have created over time that you may not be aware of that actually are going to aggravate certain parts of the spine. Case in point, this say 6 and 7 cervical spine, as I put it, where the magic happens. What people may not realize is our bodies, our head, our arms, they have weight. And if you do not correct that posture, in other words, if you're doing this constantly, that's really going to aggravate that area, because what people don't realize is every inch your head goes forward, it gets heavier. So 4 inches is putting about 40 pounds of pressure here. Then on top of that, if you are in a profession where you're having to sit all day without supporting your arms, human adult male, that weighs up to 30 pounds combined. So that's even putting more pressure there. Now we have product like, say, cervical pillows, great office chairs that are going to give that extra support, but it's a matter of that posture and that habit. Wow. So if you tend to look down too long, that's really going to aggravate things to the point that it's going to help compress, it's going to put strain on those muscles and ligaments. So it's a matter of educating, the client, the guest, about those habits that they may have created and how that's going to affect things. Wow. Because we want the products to work and do their best job, but things like that. And the thing that has been very apparent over the past couple of years is children. And what I mean by that, and it's that time of year, the kids are out of school and they're going to be doing a lot of gaming, looking at their phone or mom and dad's phone, which is creating this horrible habit of them doing this constantly. Then what that will do is then it will have a domino effect. And what happens there is that pressure has to go somewhere. So if they tend to do this, they're going to be more apt to lean even more forward, which is going to put pressure in, say, that L4, L5 region. So those individuals that sit too long, you've got to be very mindful of making sure and maintaining that lordosis or that natural lumbar curve, because without that correct posture, again, that pressure has to go somewhere.
How do you know which products to recommend?
Well, if you walk in the store, we're going to ask a very simple question. When do you feel your pain the most? And whatever you answer kind of gives us a guide where we want to start. But most people, whether it be they come in on their own or if your medical professional sends you in, they're going to let us know what their diagnosis and symptom is. And from there, we start the consultation.
Okay, very good.
I hate to say this, and I should have known this because you're Glenn and you're amazing, but I guess I never really realized how much you guys are aware of kind of the medical side as well. Does that make sense? I'm not trying to say anything mean.
No, we don't have a medical degree.
Right,
some of us,
but it's amazing.
But we really do have to know more than people would ever imagine. And I'm talking from one end of that spectrum to the other, because we deal with everyone from, say, massage therapists, physical therapists, chiropractors, up to heart and orthopedic surgeons. Oh. So when people walk in and we ask that question, they may not even expect that we're going to know what they're referring to. But if you tell me I have a problem of my L4, L5, I can immediately tell you what products in our showroom are going to work best for you. In that case, like a zero gravity recliner, it helps to do that natural decompression of the vertebrae. Neck and shoulder issues, we've got a multitude of items. Things like cervical pillows, as I mentioned, office chairs that are going to give that extra support. But from there, it's just a matter of us matching you to that correct tool.
You're amazing.
And do you have any success stories that you can share?
More than you, many. I could keep you here all day. It's a matter of depending on, the pain level. That's the thing is, I've even mentioned this before. I've had people literally burst into tears because the pain stopped almost immediately and they've been trying to find something to do that. Now, I can't say we can do that with every client, but up to a point, if we get to you at the right time, if it's a matter of relief, that's one thing. But what I really was trying to stress earlier is younger individuals, it is up to us adults to watch them, because if you let them create those habits, they're going to get the same problems that mom and dad had. But that's where we come in. And what I'm getting at there is if I know what we want to prevent, we can also do that.
Oh, you guys are the best.
Yes,
you guys
thank
know
you,
so
Glenn.
much.
Thank you,
Thank
Glenn.
you.
I'll be there this weekend.
We'll be there.
All right, everyone, you've got to head to Relax the Back. Check out their inventory online as well. Relaxtheback.com/Nashville. And if you have a question, ask Glenn. He literally knows everything there is to know about back relief. Thank you.
Thank you.